When you look at a city skyline at night,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you see this massive skyscraper completely lit up,
Yeah.
there's an automatic assumption of bustling activity.
Right, you picture thousands of people inside.
Exactly. You picture deals being made, this thriving hub of commerce.
Yeah.
You definitely don't assume the building manager just, taped down all the light switches.
Just to trick the people driving by on the highway.
Yeah. But look, today is May 29, 2026, and we are stepping inside one of those beautifully lit skyscrapers in the digital finance world.
To see if anyone is actually home.
Spot on. Welcome to today's deep dive. You, the listener, are about to get a masterclass in reading between the lines of flashy on-chain data.
Because in the digital economy, those lit windows, they're just data points on a dashboard.
Right.
And the hazard for any investor or analyst is that it is incredibly easy to mistake a brightly lit dashboard like a high TVL or a spike in active addresses for actual organic growth.
When it might just be an architectural illusion.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our single source for this deep dive is a really meticulous, data-heavy dispatch published literally today.
Hot off the presses.
Yeah, by an on-chain analyst known as Janus The Watcher. The piece is titled, Spectra on Flare-No Curve by Design: Rented TVL.
Catchy.
Right. And our mission here is to unpack the difference between true organic market growth and, rented liquidity.
Yeah, learning how to spot when a metric is actually just a disguised subsidy.
Exactly.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, while Janus is forensically dismantling this specific protocol, Spectra Finance, on the Flare network, the lesson here applies to how you evaluate any system.
Any business, any platform.
Right. Anything that boasts massive total value locked or user metrics, you always have to ask, are those numbers real? Or are they being artificially pumped up by, like, a hidden sprinkler system of free money?
A hidden sprinkler system. I love that. So let's lay out the facts. Spectra Finance is a real protocol. And in Q1 2026, it did $98 million in decentralized exchange volume.
Which is a lot.
Yeah. It's a 2.4x jump from Q4 2025.
Massive growth on paper.
But Janus argues that its yield curve on the Flare network is completely definitively dead.
Yeah, because what looks like $10.6 million of organic TVL total value locked is actually entirely rented.
Rented?
Yeah, it's driven by a 62x multiplier on a very finite $170,500 annual subsidy.
Okay, let's visualize this. Can you explain what a yield curve should actually look like? Because the way Janus describes Spectra, it's like building a massive shopping mall with 50 stores.
Right.
But 99% of the shoppers are crammed into one single store.
Just elbow to elbow.
Yeah, because that is the only store handing out free cash at the door.
Yeah.
And the rest of the mall is completely empty.
That is the perfect analogy. A healthy yield curve should spread out. People should be in different stores for different reasons.
Right.
Some want short-term liquidity, others want to lock up money for a year. That spread creates the curve. But Janus proves that curve doesn't exist here.
And Janus brought receipts.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, totally. They log the APY and TVL every single morning.
Wow.
Yeah, from May 15th to the 26th, every morning. And they proved that finding a clean fixed yield more than 12 months out is just impossible.
So the curve is flatlining.
Exactly.
Okay, so we know the curve is dead, but we need to understand why. Why are the mechanics forcing this outcome?
Janus lays out 3 structural flaws. The first one is concentrated reward.
Okay, break that down.
So on Flare, you have these Flare portal rFLR emissions, right? The subsidies.
Right, the free cash in the door.
Exactly. But they flow to exactly 1 pool per asset.
Wait, really? Just one?
Just one. For the SFLR asset, it all goes to the September 30, 2026 maturity pool.
Making it super lucrative, I assume.
Yeah, it sits at a 14.78% total APY, with the native yield and that rFLR subsidy making up the bulk of it.
Okay, and what about the other assets?
For STXRP, it all funnels into the June 4, 2026 maturity pool. Every drop of incentive goes into a single bucket.
So obviously everyone crowds into that bucket.
Yeah, right. Which leads to the second flaw. There's no governance vote to fix it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Because normally on Ethereum or Base, you'd have, like, gauge voting.
Exactly. On other networks, you'd use your Spectra tokens to vote and spread those rewards around to different pools. It democratizes the incentives.
Look at here.
Here, those Flare pools rely on a central decision by the Flare Foundation. The community literally cannot vote to spread the wealth.
That's a huge bottleneck. What's the third flaw?
The locked schedule. This subsidy isn't some temporary bootstrap phase to get things going. It's locked in for a full year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, through May 22, 2027. So it's a permanent structural distortion.
I want to push back for a second, though, playing devil's advocate.
Sure, go for it.
Because the Spectra team actually defended this. Someone in their Discord asked about it, like, why are the far-dated markets so empty?
Right, I remember reading this part.
And the team replied that community members just create far-dated markets, quote, for any number of reasons. Doesn't that mean it's just decentralized freedom, like it's permissionless, people can do what they want?
What's fascinating here is how that exact excuse actually disqualifies them.
How so?
By saying people make pools for any number of reasons, they are proving that the team is thinking purely in terms of reward pools and trading volume.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, they aren't thinking in terms of actual duration or building a yield curve.
Which is kind of the whole point of a fixed-rate bond market.
Exactly. If you're building a bond market, duration is everything. Ignoring it is fatal.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
If the distant pools are completely empty, like we just established, how are they even visible on the platform? Shouldn't they just disappear from the dashboard?
They should, but they don't because of a single liquidity provider.
And who is that LP?
In 4 out of the 7 STXRP pools, that single LP keeping the lights on is Janus.
The author of the piece.
The author. Janus deliberately seeded mini LP positions just to see if visibility on the dashboard would attract organic liquidity.
And did it?
Absolutely not. It failed completely. In the June 2026 test pool, only one single external buyer showed up.
One buyer.
One. And they bought $346 worth.
Oh my gosh. That is nothing.
And 0 external LPs added funds. The entire STXRP curve has 99% of its money. We're talking $9.47 million sitting in that subsidized June 4 pool.
And the other visible pools.
The other 4 hold just $93,000 total.
That is wild. I mean, Janus isn't just a hater on the sidelines throwing stones. They are literally holding the ecosystem up with their own money while critiquing it.
Which is exactly why this methodology is so powerful. A critique from someone actively holding the tokens who put their own capital on the line.
Right, they have skin in the game.
It carries way more weight than some outsiders' opinion. They wanted the organic liquidity to be there. They tested it, and it wasn't.
So, okay, if the ecosystem consists of one person running an experiment and everyone else just chasing a single subsidy bucket, why do the official reports look so glowing?
It all comes down to broken incentives.
Yeah, because Spectra claims they have balanced participation.
Right, but Janus proves that LPs are just capital mining. They're mercenary. For example, the June 4 pool hit its mercenary ceiling at 11.7K TVL, dropping the APY to 3.71%.
And the analytics dashboards, like DeFilama, how do they read that?
DeFilama reads it purely as healthy ecosystem TVL. It is completely blind to the fact that it's basically just a balance sheet line for the rFLR program.
So the dashboards are lying, essentially, or at least missing the context.
They're missing the context. And everyone involved has conflicting incentives.
Right. Spectra wants TVL because higher TVL means more fees for them.
Exactly. Scepter, the liquid staking protocol, they want SFLR minted to increase their assets under management.
More AUM, more fees.
Right. And Janus points out this one moment where Scepter actually celebrated $1.1 million moving to a new pool in a week.
They called it organic demand.
No, they framed it as proof of adoption, but Janus looks at the on-chain data and calls it exactly what it is, pure reward chasing.
Just jumping from one subsidy to the next.
Exactly. The only entity that actually wants the subsidy to eventually end is the FLR Foundation because they're paying for it.
I mean, think about the metrics you rely on at your job or in your investments. How often are they hiding the actual reality like this?
More often than people think.
Is there any way to actually fix this?
The dynamic here proves that no one with operational leverage actually wants to wean off the subsidy. It's politics at this point, not mechanics.
But Spectra does have an upcoming V2 roadmap, right? Are they trying to fix the mechanics?
They are. The V2 Meta Vault introduces liquidity rollovers and a native order book.
Okay, what does the order book solve?
Right now, the automated market maker model is terrible for this. If you do a $59 trade in an 8K pool, you suffer 37% slippage.
The 37% on a $50 trade.
Yeah, it's brutal. But the order book fixes that slippage, and the rollovers stop capital from getting trapped.
So the new V2 update is basically fixing the plumbing.
Right.
So the water flows beautifully without any leaks. But the problem is, The water source itself is still just a single fire hydrant of subsidized cash.
Exactly. Janus points out that V2 only fixes the mechanics. It does not fix the economics.
It just makes the reward chasing smoother.
Smoother, faster. Contrast that with the Morpho Midnight White Paper, which also dropped in May 2026.
Oh yeah, what did they do differently?
They designed fixed-rate lending without central rewards. They proved you can build organic curves if you don't rely on a giant subsidy magnet.
So it's totally possible.
Yes. And this raises an important question for Spectra. What happens when that massive June 4 STXRP reward pool finally matures?
Does the money fan out and create a real curve?
Or does it all just jump in unison to the next carrot?
I mean, based on the data, it's definitely jumping to the next carrot.
Oh, undoubtedly.
So how is Janus adapting their own strategy based on all this? Because they're a participant.
Janus has a 90-day watch list now. They are tracking the order book launch, that June 4 rotation, the foundation's transparency, and the next Scepter yield print.
Keeping a close eye on everything.
Yeah. But meanwhile, they point to a huge upgrade happening on Flare itself, called FIP.16.
Okay, the tokenomics upgrade.
Right. Lower inflation, fee burns, MEV capture, and FLR buybacks via a mechanism called FIRE.
So it's heavily deflationary.
Exactly. And because of FIP.16, Janus concludes that the smartest play, what they call the cleaner address, isn't chasing subsidies on Spectra.
What is it then?
It's native staking through Scepter or Doppler. You get around a 10% yield, plus the price upside from the deflation.
That makes total sense. You avoid what Janus called the reward theater.
Reward theater. It's such a perfect term for it. And, you know, Janus actually runs a service called one-to-one confrontation.
Wait, what is that?
It's for leaders who want their strategic thinking rigorously tested. They sit down and Janus just dismantles their logic.
Honestly, after reading his dispatch, I would be terrified to sit across from them, but it would be so valuable.
Truly. True knowledge isn't about looking at dashboard numbers, but understanding the underlying incentives that create those numbers.
So what does this all mean for you listening? It means you have to apply this critical thinking framework to your own life. Always look for the rented metrics in any system you're evaluating.
Follow the money.
Exactly. Thank you for this incredible breakdown of Janus the Watcher's dispatch. It is eye-opening.
It really is. And, you know, I want to leave you with a final thought that builds on Janus's work here.
Lay it on us.
If a $170,000 subsidy can artificially prop up a $10.6 million ecosystem, what happens to the global digital economy if the vast majority of growth we've seen over the last decade across all tech platforms was just a byproduct of zero interest rate subsidies?
Wow.
If the subsidies dried up everywhere, how much of our digital world is just a ghost town waiting to be revealed?
That is heavy. That's going to keep me up at night.
It should.
Well, keep asking the hard questions, everyone. Keep looking past those flashy dashboards, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.